Hello, my friends. It's the day before Thanksgiving here in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. And we're about to go off later this afternoon and tomorrow and begin to celebrate Thanksgiving. For those of you who are not Americans, Thanksgiving is the day that we celebrate that has its linkages back to the early settlers who came from Europe over to the United States and got together with the Native Americans. We all get together on that. It's a Thursday always, and it's a big tradition in the United States to have big families all around. And all my youth, we used to do that. But these days, what we do is we go to restaurants, and since we don't have any little kids running around the place, and so that's where we're off to do. But we're very, very thankful for all that we've been given and this wonderful kind of opportunity that we have to kind of participate in kind of a significant way in this amazing change and it's happening in this world. And I'm particularly thankful for all of you who participate and contribute to and come here in one way or another to take advantage of what we try to do here at the Arlington Institute. We get a great number of you that come through Transition Talks, which is our series that once a month we have a speaker. And of course, we get a lot of good feedback from future edition. It's been a very interesting year here at the Arlington Institute. And we've been kind of catapulted into some new space. COVID did a very interesting thing for a lot of people, and in some cases it was their downfall. There are a lot of small businesses and so on that just retail businesses that couldn't make it through here, a lot of restaurants and such. But for an organization like ours, what it did is it forced us to do live streaming and to reach out further than our local kind of Eastern Seaboard community and be able to stream our transition talks and other products out much farther away. And what that did was increase substantially the kind of market or the reach of what we've had in the past. And that's been our only salvation over the last couple of years, is being able to have people from all over the world participate in some of our programs and hear some of our speakers. And it's just turned out to be really quite wonderful. For years, I had people would send me emails and say, I'm on the West Coast and I can't come, but if you'd make the stuff available by live stream, we'd be happy to pay to come. And as it turns out, that turns out to be the case. And it's just been wonderful to be able to interface with some of these folks. And the numbers that we're able to reach that way are really quite significant for people like Greg Braden and Dave Martin and so on. It's not unusual for us to have 2 or 3 times the number of people on the live streams as we have in person. And that's a wonderful kind of thing to allow us to not only pay all of the bills, but also to be able to invite folks who don't have the name that Braden and Martin have to be able to be part of our programs. We've just had Mark Gober here, who was a marvelous young guy who has really got very interesting thinking about the kind of the interface between metaphysics and government. And it was a very provocative kind of presentation this last weekend, but sadly there weren't a whole lot of people that came, and that's too bad because maybe it's just the way we're kind of communicating it or something, but it's there were a lot of folks who otherwise come to our transition talks who would have really enjoyed this, I'm sure, if we'd been able to effectively kind of communicate what it was about. And so we're going to work on that. And we've had a number of other similar kind of presentations where they were really dynamite and the people there that just loved them, but there weren't that many people that showed up. And so what it turns out to be is that sometimes we can cover some of that stuff from the income that we generate out of big hitters like Martin and Braden. but sometimes it just really gets tough. And right now it's kind of tough because we've had a couple of kind of wonderful presentations that didn't have a large group that participated, and we're happy, we're happy to do that in order to get the word out and these important kind of topics and issues that are related to all this change. But yeah, also got to pay the bills. I got these people who work for me that is every 2 weeks they seem to want to get paid, and so what we do is every at this time of the year, this wonderful time of the year in the holiday season, we try to go out to all of our good friends who have been supporters and been the beneficiaries of some of the wonderful things that we've been able to do, and give them the opportunity to participate one more time in what we all do. And it's just kind of, it's a giving season, no matter where you are in the world when you get close to Christmas time, and if that's part of what you celebrate. And this is a chance for you to help us and help yourself, I guess, in a way, and be able to add a little bit more to what we have to be able to continue to produce uh, transition talks and future edition and quartet and what's up and all of these things, most of which do not generate any revenue, and we just make them available for free. And so what we'd like to suggest, as we do every at the end of the year, particularly for those of you who are future edition subscribers, if you were up to sending along $49, that's like $2 a month for the newsletter, which I get emails and communications all the time saying how much they appreciate it. And so it's less than a cup of coffee anywhere that you'd go out and buy a cup of coffee, almost, and certainly at Starbucks. And so if you could do that, we'd love it, and it'd really help us here toward the end of the year to make sure that everybody gets a good Christmas and everybody gets a turkey or has access to ways to celebrate Thanksgiving. You can see down below us or in the link that's come here about ways in which you can participate, and I hope that you'll help us if you can. We're trying very hard. We work very hard here to try to make some kind of unique sense out of where we're all going and this amazing kind of change that's coming downstream. There aren't a whole lot of people that I'm aware of that kind of work in the space where we do, where we try to look across the whole spectrum of many different areas and try to find those records and people and ideas and articles and whatever it is that all point to, in a very kind of systematic way, to this huge kind of change that's coming our way. This is just mind-boggling, at least it is to me. The more I learn about it and think I figure out some more about what's coming downstream, the more it kind of rocks me back in my chair, and I say, God, I mean, wow, this is amazing. And there's a new world that's going to come out of this, and a new human. And we've got a lot of good ideas, and I've just been a couple of places where we've been exposed to some dramatically different ideas about what's coming this way, and we'll be talking about that, and that'll be part of what we have as part of the content of what's up. And when I talked to Greg Braden and Quartet, when Greg and I and Penny Kelly and Kingsley Dennis get together every 2 weeks, and we hope that you all get a chance to take a look at those, because we look at very important kind of topics. And so help us if you can. We'd really like it. It'd really be helpful. I mean, it's more than just helpful. It's kind of critically important to us. And so, uh, and if you have any ideas or suggestions of other things, I get wonderful ideas and suggestions from people responding when they give and at other times. And so we're always looking for suggestions. And so I hope that you'll participate in that way. But you can see all the information about how you can be with us and help us keep this all going down at the information below. And so Teresa and I and Bobby and Abby and Suzanne and Mark, all of us send along our warmest greetings and wishes for the holiday for you. So thank you. And all we can say is hold on, because next year is gonna just has every indication of being extraordinary and unprecedented. And we'll be here to help provide some really thoughtful and useful information about how to go forward and how to become what you need to become in order to effectively deal with this amazing change. So thanks so much.